Okay, so right now we are moving this grid into our paper because it has already been our reference picture has already been graded on the phone here. So the next stage is to grid our paper here and transfer this reference onto our paper. So this has not been calculated, right? But I'm going to be calculating it. We have about 9 grid boxes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I'll be replicating that on my paper. So first of all, I need to get the inches or the centimeters I'm going to be using. So for this per box, I'm going to be using 2 inches per box, right? Like a box for like this box, let's say this box now, right? I'm going to be using 2 inches per box. So let's see how it goes. So one box, I'm going to be using 2 inch. There are 3 boxes up here. So I'm going to measure another 2 inch and then another one again, 2 inches. Awesome. So ensure your hands are really straight for this because it's very important. Okay. So yeah, I just want to make sure it is accurate. So I'll be measuring 2 inches again. Okay. I'll be drawing my first line here. Okay, so I know from your view it's as though the lines are not straight, but actually it is the camera angle from which I'm shooting from. Alright, so it's from the camera angle, the lines are actually straight. You have to make the lines straight. Okay, yeah, 4 inch plus 2 inches, so I'm measuring 6 inch as the length. The length is going to be 6 inches. We're going to be adding, let's add 1 inch to this. Okay. And the kind of pencils you use is very important. This is 2B graphite pencils. This is the Kimberly's brand. It's not too dark, but you can actually make it dark. But I'm not going to be using much pressure because these lines you don't have to show in your final work. Let's see. Remember, I'm using 2 inches, so this is 2 for 6. So you're going to be measuring another 2 inches here too. Okay, so you're going to be matching it up here. Okay, so now let's do the vertical lines. You know, we've already measured it 2 inches, so we're just joining the lines in. Draw it lightly, because you remember we are still gonna, these lines, we don't want them to appear in our final product, right? So we're just gonna do it gently. Let me measure that. Should be about 2 inches. Okay, 2 inches. So now to number it, right, in your phone they might label it for you, right? Okay, like for me they labeled mine. So what this labeling is all about is just it helps you identify the boxes you're working, especially if you're working with bigger pictures. Sometimes the boxes are too much, so what you just do in the numbering, you have to number the boxes so you know that okay, I'm in box this, I'm in box this. So when you get to that box, you focus solely on what's happening in that box. You don't focus on what's happening in any other box at that moment. Focus on each box at a time. So this numbering process is quite, to an extent, sometimes quite confusing, but I make it very simple for me. So when they say ABC, I use ABC as well. A B C, and now you can see the horizontal is going 0 1 2. So what I do as well is I just put 1 2, right? So I know here's for the letters and here's for the numbers. So let's say this is A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. You know, it makes your work very easy for you to identify and draw a good sketch outline. So right now we're going to be moving into drawing this on the grid. So let's move on to drawing the sketch outline. Alright, so first of all, there are different ways to do this accurately. I could actually use the freehand method and I'm going to get it accurately, right? But I'm using the grid so you can also learn another technique of drawing sketch outlines faster and, you know, more accurately. So I'll be starting with shadows here. You can see the shadow here, so I'm going to be drawing the shadows. I'm observing the shape of the shadows first. And the grid method is quite nice because there are some things you can see. So this area is gonna be the eyebrow, I believe so. The eyebrow. So we're almost done with this. So these areas are going to be in the shadow. So that's why I'm mapping it out with my pencil. So what I'm doing is, it's more like, I wish I could explain it well. The direction, like this place now, in the edge of the eye here, it's pointing almost opposite this white mark here. So if I could get that, then I would know where to put my own subject, where to put my own sketch outline. So it's more of a calculation I do in my mind. And you see, don't be so caught up in trying to make it exactly the way it is, like 100% looking alike. You know, sometimes it's not going to look so much like 100% identical, but the likeness is going to be there. It's going to resemble the subject, but you know, sometimes it's not going to be 100% alike. That's why it's art. You're creating art. You're not taking a picture or a photo. You're creating something, and something actually new. So all these places I'm just shading off, they're going to be in the shadows. So at this moment I can see our sketch outline, it's almost done. Okay, so that's it for the sketch outline at the moment. We're going to be moving into the next stage. Wow, you've come a long way. And you know, 95% of people, they don't get to this stage. that means you're hungry for knowledge, which means you can be a hyper-realistic pencil artist in less than 3 months. So now we're going to move into the next video. And what is the next video about? I'm going to teach you how to make charcoal powder. You see, because I'm going to be using charcoal powder for this drawing, right? And you need to learn how to use charcoal powder. It's very easy, but you have to learn the way to do it, right? So now I want to see you in the next video. Let's go and learn how to make charcoal powder.